in Dr. Cynthia Stone. He's very special. She's very special and biggest honor for me because today I talk with Dr. Cynthia Stone because she's a good, admirable lady. So, can we introduce Dr. Cynthia Stone, please? Conversation with Dr. Cynthia Stone.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Naveed, and salam alaikum. It is a pleasure to be here on your
Walaikum.
platform.
Please introduce yourself, my audience, because my follower in Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and different countries all over the world, they know your personality and your struggle and your motivation, and you are a doctor, and she a doctor struggle. Please explain your introduce full
Uh,
completely.
you got it. I am Dr. Cynthia Stone. I was awarded that distinction for my work in humanity. It is such an honor to be here on this platform with Naveed, as I am definitely committed to being the change I want to see in the world. I have dedicated my life to serving others, and that has taken me from the ghettos to Guyana, from working with the homeless to Hollywood and everything in between. I thought that I would be working with the homeless exclusively. That is what always touched my heart. I wanted to work with the people that nobody else wanted to work with. And as I started pouring into these individuals, I was led to basically turn my life over to a higher power, surrendering to his will, because I recognized that as much as I wanted more for these beautiful, precious souls, a lot of them had given up and checked out on life. And that was very hard for me to come to terms with that, because no matter how much you may want a horse to drink, for example, you can take it to water, but it may not, it has free will. So I turned it over and was led, basically. The homeless told me that I should be in Hollywood, which I thought was a really weird thing to say. And that ended up being what I did. I ended up going and following up on a casting call, and got the part. I was awarded an opportunity to be featured nationally on a steam mop commercial, and that went basically all across the US and Canada. And from there, I was doing a lot of different acting roles. And I met various actors along the way that basically tried to dissuade me, that told me that, that was a lucky break, and that, it's a very difficult field to work in. And, we've all heard of these type of individuals that are focusing on the negative. It's oversaturated. You're not going to get your lucky break and stuff like that. And we have to be careful who we allow into our head office, right? So I actually found that I was listening to them, and I was like, oh, I need to get a real job. Oh, but I like this work. But no, I got to get a real job. So I ended up leaving that and going full time into the stable work, but I was miserable. And I'm like, even though the insurance was giving me a good paycheck and everything else, I'm like, I have traded my happiness and joy for a paycheck. And I'm like, it's not worth it. It was like wage slavery. So I decided that, I need to follow my passion and just go full throttle. So I ended up doing that. And faith is all about taking that first step, even if you don't see that full staircase. And I went full throttle. I started doing acting all the time. It took off. Obviously, there are peaks and valleys. So the nature of being an entrepreneur is that you don't have the stability, and you may not know every time you're going to get paid. So you really have to be mindful of your spending. And that was a whole other shift. But it's really about following those dreams that are inside of you. That's where your happiness lies, is being able to align with your divine and to allow that light to shine. And so I surrendered. I started doing it. And I definitely found that my spirit was soaring. I was just so excited. I loved every day. Obviously, not every day is going to be a perfect day, but it's all how you reflect on it. It's all how you choose to react to things. That no matter what happens, we have the choice whether we can allow it to break us or we can allow it to build us. That a breakthrough breaking down barriers and becoming the best version of yourself. And that's what I'm dedicated towards. And I noticed that as I was doing this acting, as I was tapping into what really motivates me, which is helping people reach their potential, the opportunities started coming my way. They were like, oh my gosh, you need to speak on stages about this. Next thing I know, I was doing that. I was writing books, and, you know, the awards, the nominations, I'm just so grateful. It's really about pursuing what's in you to pursue and just being the best version of you.
It is wonderful introduction and motivation for the people of Pakistan and youth, especially women empower in Pakistan, and women in Pakistan are very really motivated by you. My million, my thousand of fan zone in watching your interview in live and different ways. Especially, I am thankful again because you are very great and good human people. Your big cause humanitarian, just humanitarian. We serve the humanity. Inshallah, we will get good things by God, God gifted. When you serve the humanity, your work and your activities by God, God gifted. So I want to ask one question: your culture, your country, your literature, your heroes. Please explain these: your culture, your country, atmosphere, people, and different things. But your country views about Pakistani peoples and Pakistani ladies, especially 90% women empowerment in Pakistan, women working in different areas in different posts. Pakistani people are very good and great because your country views about Pakistani peoples and Pakistani cultures, Pakistani foods, and different things. Please explain these explorer in your country.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Those are some great questions, Naveed. I would say that in terms of the culture here, it is a very diverse culture. We have people from all across the world. It's a global playground. I mean, basically, we have influences from all cultures, all ethnicities, all gender. Like, it's just a beautiful multicultural mosaic, I would call it. And I love the fact that I can walk down the street and I can have, you know, umpteen different cuisines. I can go from Pakistani food to African food, to Chinese food, to Japanese food, to Egyptian food. It's absolutely amazing. So it's truly a very diverse, amazing place to reside. The languages spoken here, there are so many, plentiful all across the world. People come here as a Mecca. It's really a place where we can all celebrate our diversity. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about Canada. And some places I've been to, it's been more of a melting pot where even though you may come from somewhere else, you're expected to be a certain way and adopt to the culture. Whereas here I find that we really celebrate our differences and we can really learn from each other. So it's been an incredibly, like a big blessing, truly, for me to live here and to learn from beautiful souls like yourself. In terms of languages, I mean, I speak some French and I am primarily English speaking. I have been learning some Urdu though, which is cool. And definitely want to continue that. I think it's all about learning from each other. That's where the true richness comes from. In terms of our views here of Pakistanis, I can honestly say I am not one to subscribe to what is believed about a certain group. I mean, there are stereotypes that come out and just based on, you know, living, you'll often hear people say, oh, well, you know, all Pakistani people are like this, or all black people are like this, or all white people are like this. But I don't subscribe to that, because I recognize that we are all God's children, and we all have different costumes that we rent. And that being said, is that you can't really typecast an entire population. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I personally choose to take each person as they are, recognizing that just because they come from a particular background or race or religion doesn't mean anything, because each person is different. Just like with my addictions counseling background, often they say, oh, well, Alcoholics Anonymous is the best way to treat them. But that's not the case for every single person. I think that it's different strokes for different folks. And so each person that comes to me, I treat as an individual, and I get to know them on an individual basis. And maybe that's strange, but that's how I operate.
Yes, I really appreciated you. You are good views and good thinking about Pakistani peoples and Pakistani culture, Pakistani women, and Pakistani honesty in all world, and especially Canadian people are like Pakistani peoples. They are spread in every Canada city, everywhere Pakistani. First, Sikh, and second Pakistani population in spreading all over Canada. I like your president Justin Trudeau. He
Mm.
is very energetic and young personality and motivated by young people, young person. If person can get inspiration and struggle hard, inshallah they will get good job, they will get good passion. When people get struggle hard, they were follow Justin Trudeau and every Canadian people. Canada is the highest country in world. This is very smilest people in world. It is true.
Uh, I don't know. To be honest, I wouldn't say that, because I haven't met every person in the world. I think that to say that one country is the best with the smartest or whatever would be limiting our thinking. And I feel that I want to have no limits on my thinking and just have a clear slate and take everything as it comes. And I realize that there is beauty and there is brilliance in every one of God's children. And it doesn't matter where in the world you live.
Yes, yes. Uh, Introduce your passion when you starting a doctor study. First of all, introduce your study when you become a doctor, your struggle period, hardness in your life, in your passion, in your working place. So it is very difficult and different. One woman, one lady working in hospital and different countries, uh, they serving as a humanitarian. They serve as a humanity. It is a major cause in world. Humanity is the best policy in the world. You can't believe this. You are Canada, you are Pakistani, you are Muslim, you are Jews. Everything is not. You are just a humanitarian, just a human. First of all, humanity, you are humanitarian. Inshallah you can get good thinking, good reward by God. It is a God gifted. You not earn, you not take money with people. This time, this pandemic situation, you can provide a free service of your abilities, your good qualities. If you are a doctor, you are a teacher, you provide a free of cost services. So that I am a teacher, I provided my services is free of cost during this pandemic situation, because people and students are want to take free things. this situation, this pandemic situation, during locked days in Pakistan, I provide free service. Everyone, every child, every student, they can contact with me, and different of difficulties of your subject, inshallah I will provide all things. I am a teacher of language in Pakistan. My national language is Urdu. So Canada people and different worlds best recognized thing and recognized passion, and our heroes, doctor, paramedical staff, paramedics, they provide free of cost services in world, human world, because it is a major cost, it is a major cause of human. So you can understand my point that people are demand this pandemic situation for services of free of cost. Please explain these experience. You are working in Canada and different countries. You are conduct many webinars and meet different peoples, different doctors, and every one of life changer. Explain your experiences in coronavirus and this pandemic situation. People can get demand our foods, our clothes, our knowledge, our treatment. You provide a free of cost things mean that consultation and free of cost medicine and different things in Canada. You ask and you explain these experiences in Canada, this pandemic situation, COVID-19, everyone spread. This pandemic situation is decreased. When peak time, you are face fear, uh, your family, your friends force you do not think services in hospital. Why you can provide the services of people and needy people this pandemic situation? Please explain, explore of your knowledge, your passion, your humanity.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's absolutely tremendous. And you spoke so well about so many aspects, which I've been advocating for people that don't necessarily have a voice, that have a platform. Because of the humanitarian work I've done locally and across the globe, I was recognized and awarded that distinction. That being said, I have not had the conventional approach of going through the schooling to obtain a doctorate degree and cannot speak fairly to that end. What I can say is that living here in Canada is a blessing. Obviously, there is a lot to be grateful for in terms of how they're able to provide for people and offer these, these medical interventions free of charge, as you had noted. I do see that we have an incredible platform for being able to be of service to humanity. And there are waiting lists. So obviously, despite having all of this luxury, it is also something to recognize that it is not without a wait, and that sometimes that can be a long duration. So also to note that just because it is complementary does not mean that it does not have pitfalls. Having worked primarily with the homeless, I saw that there was a tremendous need for an infirmary for the homeless, that a lot of the people that I was serving would end up having, open heart surgery, for example, but be recovering from that surgery on the sidewalk. So it is something to recognize that although it is provided, which thank the Lord, I'm so grateful for, there is still, limitations. And I feel as an advocate, as somebody who cares tremendously about the well-being of all of God's children, that there is always more that we can do, and that we must be the change we want to see in the world. That it's really about giving a voice to the voiceless and speaking out against injustice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And it's really about recognizing that although the grass may seem greener on the other side, it's not always as it seems. And it's just about recognizing that we can always do more, and that it's not about how much we do, it's about what we can give in the process. And when I give to somebody, I give with all of my heart. And all I ask is for the viewers watching this to do just that. We can do no great things in life, but we can do great things with great love. And always remember that, because love is the most powerful force on earth.
Yeah, great ideas and great thinking. You are explain full of your domain in during this pandemic situation, coronavirus. In this time in Canada, people are wearing mask and gloves, use sanitizer and different things. You can understand my point, because this is a civil society and government and media. They provide education knowledge for coronavirus, this pandemic situation, because it is very great and major cause of humanity, because richest people in every country, they provide free of cost ration and distributing different things, medicine, mask, sanitizer. It is a major cause, okay, because some people or different organizations provide different things so that Canada overcome the ratio of coronavirus. How your experience, my audience, your audience, and this global village consider this pandemic situation create a dangerous things, because you are experienced person in your field. Please explain the word and explain the meaning of coronavirus, because during this situation Pakistan are ईद कुर्बान, यानी कि ईद कुर्बान mean that goats and sheep and different animals were qurbani. Sunnah Ibrahimi mean ke they cutting different animals, goat and buffalo in Pakistan during after 1 week. This is Eidul Azha, Islamic Eid. You can advise people of Pakistan and people of Canada. They are use safety measures during these days, so that this time, this situation, Pakistani cases is decreased. Almost 10,000 cases are left. 2,50,000 plus people are recovered and defeated corona, because our government and our civil society, media, and my platform, you take and give a message for people of Pakistan. Please, they are ensure the coronavirus and pandemic situation mean that safety measures, use safety measures. Inshallah, we will defeat this pandemic and this dangerous virus and overcome and 0.0 in this world. Inshallah, we will defeat this virus. Please explain your experiences for the Pakistani people and Canadian people and our audience watching this interview.
Absolutely. I think it's so great what you said in terms of how the numbers, the percentages have gone way down, and that there are a number of survivors now that have beat coronavirus. And I think that that is really important to remember, that there is a difference between being informed and inundated. And what I mean by that is when you watch the news repetitively and feed on the information it is giving you, although it is coming from the best of intentions to protect us and to ensure that we are taking the necessary precautions to keep the numbers down. That if you overload your system with too much news, you will live in a state of fear. And the opposite of fear is faith. Faith is what will help you through this time of crisis. Yes, it is important to be informed. It is important to wear your mask. It is important to maintain social distancing. All of those things are done for our own safety. Again, I am not speaking as a doctor now. I am speaking as a concerned citizen, as somebody who is advocating for the health and well-being of people. I, just like you watching this, care tremendously about preserving our health and wellness. And it is crucial that we take the necessary steps that are being put forth by the government, by scientists, by doctors who have a specialization in this virus. I do not have a specialization in this virus, so I cannot speak to the virus specifically. But what I can say is I do my part. I make sure that I wear my mask, that I maintain my social distance, and that I stay informed but not inundated. It is absolutely amazing to see the recovery that is happening, the fact that the numbers are going down, and the more you count your blessings, the more blessings you will have to count. When you have faith, there is no room for fear because you know that you can overcome anything. I have seen countless miracles, people directly in my life. There was one man who I hold very near and dear to my heart, all over the news, that had contracted corona and was in a coma, and they were preparing for his death. And he overcame it. He came out, and he is now stronger and brighter than ever. Dearest ones, yes, a lot of us have lost our lives, but there are a lot of us that have beat this as well. And it's all about your mindset. It's all about having faith in that supreme being and knowing that with God, all things are possible. Just recognize that as long as we take the necessary steps, keep up our faith, and ensure that we take in the information but don't overload our systems. Remember, we are whatever we take in. And if all you watch is fear, you become fearful because you're full of fear. So start watching stuff that raises your vibration, the miracles that are happening, the success stories. Like Naveed said, the numbers are going way down. There are people now more than ever that have beat virus. We don't have to be beaten by the virus. We are beating the virus. We are survivors. We are thrivers. And we are the very definition of the word, it's possible. The very spelling of the word impossible spells I'm possible. And that's right, my friends. You are possible. All things are possible.
Your interviews with different Pakistani people mean this interviews is contribution Rehan Allahwala Foundation, Rehan Foundation. Your interview with Rizwan Akram and Rabi Ali and different Pakistani people. How you can learn Pakistani people, Pakistani language words, mean Urdu words. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Please pronunciation in Urdu and your own word. So my audience are very excited with you, and you are great personality, and your learning process is very good and great. You can learn different words and different vocabulary. Inshallah, you will increase high vocabulary in Urdu. Please tell me some words you can learn with Pakistani people and different organization you can meet, and you are working and your locality here Pakistani. How do you use Urdu and learn Urdu language for Pakistani people? Please explain and translate and tell me about for the people and different followers you can watch here.
Absolutely. I think that it's so important when we learn from different cultures that we have that cultural sensitivity and we take the time to actually invest ourselves and our time and our mind to know as much as we can about the culture and really be a sponge. And so one thing I realized is that I love the language of Urdu. I think it's absolutely exquisite, and I look forward to learning as much as I can about the language. I'm excited to know that I am picking up words, shukriya, and salam
Shukriya.
alaikum. I definitely feel
Assalamu
that
alaikum.
there is a lot to learn. And I look forward to the process. I think that what will really help me is when I do come to visit Pakistan, and that is on the agenda. I absolutely would love to visit the land, and the people have been so welcoming and so beautiful. And I think that that is the best way to learn, is by immersion. And when I learned French, it was much the same. My parents sent me to French immersion, which really means immersing yourself in the language, becoming one with the language, and just learning by doing, by being with the people, by learning as I go. And I am so open to that and so excited for that prospect. It's really about, bridging the gap and communicating across cultures, across genders, and just celebrating our diversity. I look forward to being fluent in Urdu. I know that I have a ways to go, but I am excited and I embrace the process.
Yes, yes. I am very excited. You can speak this question. You are really visiting Pakistan?
Yes.
In which year?
That I
Which
don't
year?
know yet. I have to wait for the pandemic to finish. I know that I have been in
Yes,
talks
yes.
to see when it's going to happen, but it really does depend on when the corona decides to leave. And then, of course, provisions will be open. So I am leaving my agenda open and putting my intent out there. I am definitely planning to travel. I just can't give you a firm timeline as to when.
Advance welcome. Inshallah, you will become. You can get. You visit my country. Inshallah, we are overall friends and fellows. You are warmly welcome in airport, inshallah, when you will be when you come on Pakistan. We are very excited, and we are learn with you, inshallah, when you are visit in Pakistan, we are learning with you
Yes.
and your experiences.
Wonderful.
Today I discuss different things. I am a teacher in language in Pakistan
Wonderful.
because I consider sometimes my life is very difficult and hurdles. I face many hurdles in my life. So that if you become a easy way, you do not create any hurdle with different people and different life. Your personality spread spark with different people learn with you, so that I can get this award in economics subject in my college life. You
Yeah.
can see this.
Yes. Congratulations.
And thanks. And I am a broadcaster. This
Wow.
is my teacher, Professor Dr. Harun Rashid Tabassum, and I am Naveed Abbas.
Nice.
So I am very excited and very happy. This is my thesis.
Wonderful.
I will try this thesis in publishing in research journal, and this is my mentor and my coach, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yar Gondal, so that this is my achievements. I learn more and more with different
Yes.
peoples, different cultures, and I remember sometime your president's speech, Justin Trudeau, and they are very energetic and really motivated people, and young people are motivated. And my prime minister is Mr. Imran Khan, is very energetic and cricketer, so that 2 years in working in Pakistani government. They are very energetic and good person, and my leader and your leader is Justin Trudeau and my leader is Imran Khan, so that Pakistan and Canada culture and people are nearby some times, and some during duration, inshallah, they will get more things. We can get some things and you can get something, and they are collaboration with Pakistani people and Canadian people. How do you feel? And my advice, you create a one forum where Pakistani and Canadian people mean mean that think tank, educationist, doctor, politician, and writer, poetry, poet, and different culture and everywhere in life, people, you can provide a platform. They can contact with one another and sharing your experiences and different things. So this is my advice and request for you. Please, you create a small organization. Pakistani people and Canadian peoples are connected with one another and different things and different culture, different societies, different departments. How do you feel my request and suggest?
Well, I think it is a great suggestion and a wonderful idea. I would love to take it on. I just have so many things on the go right now that I couldn't possibly give it the attention it deserves. But I do think that it's a wonderful idea, and I think that these are amazing ideas and that the world would benefit from your wisdom, your teachings, and your ideas.
Yes. How do you feel with my interviews and my interviews terminologies? I ask different question with you. Please explain your experience with my interview and some suggestion for me, because so that I can improve my interviews point and different things. Uh, your suggestion, it is honor for me, because you are mentor, you are coach, and you are motivational speaker. You are great personality and motivated by others. Please explain and some suggestions I can improve my interview. And how do you feel my English conversation? Because I am a teacher of national language Urdu. Because some grammatically and some grammar problems I face when we discuss with foreign people, so that it is pronunciation issue every time they are hurdle. So that I am a teacher of language in Pakistan. Please explain and your suggestion for me and my interviews terminologies. Please explain with audience, so audience can get more inspiration for you and me, inshallah.
You got it. Well, Naveed, I think that you're an absolute brilliant man and that you don't give yourself enough credit, first of all. And I think that a lot of us suffer from that, where we don't recognize our achievements so much and we're very hard on ourselves. And that can be very motivational to help propel us to reach new heights, or it can also pull us down and make us not realize just how brilliant we are. So that being said, I want to commend you on your handle of the English language. You are very, very adept at carrying on conversation and making your point known. In terms of improvement, I would say that when asking questions, to keep them short and concise. What I found is that you were very well versed and took me on a whole amazing journey. But when it came down to what question I was answering, sometimes it was such a big idea and explored so many avenues that the question became unclear. So just to take us through that journey, amazing, but to make sure that when you're asking questions that they're very short and concise so that the interviewer can know exactly what's being asked and they can properly address your question. When it's so big, it becomes difficult to know exactly if everything was covered. And so we want to make sure that that is brought in. So bring it in. I would say also in terms of the way you were handling, it was a great flow. I mean, this was truly a back and forth, an exchange of ideas. It was a whole medley, and it was very, very engaging, insightful, delightful. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. You are a very well-versed man and very well-educated, and I truly appreciate that. I like where you took us. I like how you brought in different elements. I got to know more about you, which was a great thing because a lot of times interviews can be very one-sided, and this became more of an exchange of ideas and a recognition of each other's achievements. So that was very well done. I would say that in terms of this being a platform for others to learn from, absolutely amazing. One other thing that I would encourage you to avoid for interviews is when you spring an idea on someone. As wonderful as your idea was in terms of the forum, and as amazing as it is, you would probably want to bring that up with the interview subject before you announce it on the air, because that can make them perhaps feel uncomfortable or obliged to do it. And you wouldn't want to create a friction there. I don't have any problem with it personally. I thought it was a great idea, but I could see how potentially it could be a problem if you went about that approach in the future. So that's just something to keep in mind. In terms of other elements, though, I absolutely love the fact that you were, bringing in different elements, how we can actually improve as a society, comparing and contrasting between Pakistan and Canada, and really having a well-versed and a broad array of subjects that we covered in a short amount of time. So very well done.
Thanks a lot. It is honor for me because your words and your suggestion, it is a honor for me and my life. So you can provide the message for all listening and followers. Please explain the message, short message for followers and people, so that I feel time is high, so that your session and your precautious time is very good and great. You can already different session and different people. Your interviews are scheduled. Please explain and message for all the people of Pakistan and your follower and my follower and different people listening. Please explain and give a message for people, so people can motivated by you and your ideas. Please explain.
Absolutely, Naveed, and thank you for that. I would say that to all listeners, whether you are following Naveed or myself or happen to be stumbling by, you are here for a reason, and that reason is there to serve you. Just as everything happens to our life for a reason. And these reasons can either make us bigger and better and brighter versions of ourselves, or they can tear us down. What I encourage you to do is to really look within and recognize that you don't realize how strong you are until you're forced to be strong, until you are put in a situation where you need to rise up. And that is what this time is all about. That coronavirus has swept across the globe and has caused us to face our own mortality. Now more than ever, we are recognizing the fragility of life and how important it is to take every moment to appreciate what we have. Every one of you had a gift this morning. You woke up. Unlike 1 million other people, you woke up. You opened 2 gifts this morning, your eyes, and you are here breathing. And that breath of life that was given to you is not an accident, and you have a mission to fulfill. Recognize that it is not about you, that there is a greater, grander purpose in your life, and that all you need to do is surrender to that will, find those gifts, share them with the world, and recognize that your very existence is miraculous and that you have been blessed. And I know that sometimes it becomes really challenging to see the blessing, but in every lesson, you can take something, become wiser, become stronger, become a better version of yourself. Recognize that, like silver, we are being refined. We are being held over the fire until we can reveal his image, until we become a better version of ourselves. That you have a mission to fulfill. So I encourage you, find that mission, be of service, whether you help somebody, open a door for them, help them with groceries, say a kind word, whatever it is, just choose love. Choose to love yourself and choose to love your neighbor. That's what it's all about. That is the meaning of life. Dearest ones, thank you so much. It has been such a blessing being here with you, Naveed, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Namaste.
Thanks a lot for your message and your conversation and your suggestion for my people and my country and my followers.